Hello, how are you? I'm a little tired. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is December 22nd, 2022. It's on Thursday today. It's sunny outside, but it was raining at night. Yes, last night. How are you spelling Thursday? Are you already on New Year vacation? New Year holidays? Are you already in the New Year holidays? Are you already in a vacation? Are you already in a New Year holiday? Are you already in a New Year vacation? On vacation? Are you already on a New Year vacation? Are you already on New Year holidays? I think cars will be got tough on, especially on weekends, because many people will go outside after work for drinks, for a cup of drinks, I think. Cars might be got tough on, especially on weekends, because more people will go for a drink with coworkers, friends, and so on. Cars might be got tough on weekends because more people will go out for a couple of drinks or eating after work, because Saturdays and Sundays are usually day offs for many workers and students. Examiners were getting tough on our movement during the examination. So even when we went to the toilet, we had to go with the examiners. After the incident, the area has been got tough on with more number of police officers. The area has been got tough on with more number of police officers. During the Halloween day, the Scramble Street was got tough on by more number of police officers. During the Halloween day, the place was got tough on by more number of police officers. During the Halloween day, the place was got tough on by police officers. More number of police officers. Twice the number of police officers than that last year. On Halloween day, the Scramble area was got tough on stricter than last year. Police officers were getting tough on those violating the rule, ordinances. Police officers were getting tough on those violating the ordinances, Cars will be got tough on, especially on weekends. Cars might be got tough on, especially on weekends. Cars might be got tough on, especially on weekends. Cars might be got tough on, especially on weekends. Police officers might get tough on cars on weekends, especially on weekends. Police officers might get tough on cars, especially on weekends. I sometimes watch TV in which the president signed executive order. I sometimes watch a news in which a president signed the executive order in front of the camera. I watched the president signing the executive order. I watched a TV in which the president signed the executive order in front of many people. I sometimes hear news in which a president signed executive order. What are included in the executive order? I don't know. I'm not sure. What is included in the executive order? What kind of executive order did he issue? Did he sign? What kind of executive order did he sign? What kind of executive order did he issue? What kind of executive order did he make? What kind of executive order did he make? What kind of executive order did he issue? Executive order. I sometimes hear a news in which a president signed the executive order. I sometimes watch the news in which a president signed the executive order. Tokyo is the most populous city in Japan, with the population of 14 million. About 14 million. About 1/10 of population exists only in Tokyo. About 1/10 of the population of Japan lies in Tokyo. About one tenth of the population lies in Tokyo. About 1/10 of the population is in Tokyo. Actually, more than 1/10 though. About 1/10 of the population is in Tokyo. Only in Tokyo. Which is the most populous area in your country? Which is the most populous area in your country? Those living in the countryside might be astonished by the populous area in Tokyo. Those living in countryside might be astonished, mesmerized, surprised at the populous landscape, populous sight of Tokyo or other urban cities. Populous, 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 populous. Which do you prefer to live in a populous urban city or countryside with few people, few residents? Which do you prefer to live in a urban cities, populous urban cities, or in a countryside with few people, with few residents? When it comes to living in an urban city, everything is very convenient. Everything will be condensed in the city, and it's very convenient to move around with the public transportation. And there are many shops, and many events are usually held only in Tokyo or Osaka, like urban cities. So we don't have to go to another prefecture to join the events. So when it comes to the convenience, urban city will surpass the countryside. But when it comes to the amount of stress, because I have lived both in country and urban city, in my opinion, when it comes to the stress, it's better to live in countryside. We don't have to wait for a long time like in urban cities. Everything will be done very quickly. And we have more spacious, fresh air and so on. But it depends. Everyone has a different perspective, so it depends. The new type of the product can withstand 1 million beatings, said the spokesperson of the company. The new version of the product can last 1.5 times longer than the previous model, said the spokesperson of the company. The new version of the product can last 1.5 times longer than the previous model, said the spokesperson. The new type of the model can last at 1.3 times longer than the previous model, said the spokesperson. Spokesperson, spokesman, spokesperson, spokesman, spokesperson, spokesman, spokesperson. The new version of the model can last 1.4 times longer than the previous model, said the spokesperson of the company. The judge sentenced the man 2 years of the jail terms. The judge sentenced the man to 2-year jail terms, 2-year jail times. The judge sentenced the man to 2-year jail terms, jail time. The man was sentenced to 2-year jail terms. The man was sentenced to 2-year jail terms. The criminal had finished half of the jail term, half his jail term. The judge sentenced the man to jail terms of 3 years for what he had done. The judge sentenced the man to 3 years of jail terms. The judge sentenced the man of the jail terms of 3 years. The judge sentenced the man to jail terms of half a year. The judge sentenced the man to half a year in jail. The judge sentenced the man to half a year in jail, in prison. Jail time. The judge sentenced the man to jail terms of half a year. The judge sentenced the man to half a year in jail, in prison. How many jail terms do you expect the judge will sentence to the criminal? How long jail terms do you expect the judge sentence to the man? How long jail terms do you expect will the judge give to the criminal? How long jail terms do you predict will the judge give to the criminal? How long jail terms do you expect will the judge give to the criminal? How long jail terms do you expect? Do you guess will the judge give to the criminal? Jail terms, jail terms, jail term, jail term, jail time. Failing to the lecture every 5 years is subject to revocation of your license. So please bear that in mind. Sorry, please keep that in mind. The governor had the right to execute the revocation to those to the license of those who have violated the law. The governor has the right to execute the right of the executing the revocation to the license of those who violated the law. Violated the law. The governor has the right to execute the revocation to the license of those who have violated the law. Violated the law. Violated the law. Violated the law. Revocation. The driver of the speeding car was arrested for the speeding beyond the limitation. Speed limitation. 200 kilometers beyond the speed limitation. And he had his license revocated. He had his license revocated. He had his license revocated. I don't want to have my wallet stolen, so I am usually very careful of carrying that. Revocation. 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 The dreadful car accident led to the revocation of his driver's license, driver's license. The dreadful severe car accident led to the revocation of his driver's license. Revocation. The governor has the right to execute the revocation to the license of those who have violated the law. Violated the law. The governor has the right to execute the revocation to the license of those who violate the law. Violate the law. Who violate the law. Who violate the law. The governor has the right to execute the revocation of the license to those who violate the law, breaching the law, intruding on the law. Revocation. Revocation. revocation of the driver's license, revocation of the contract. We got revocation of the contract on short notice. On short notice. We got the revocation of the contract on short notice. We got the sudden revocation from the supplier, which surprised us, which took us all by surprise. Revocation, 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 revocation. 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 The band filed a lawsuit against the prefecture, claiming that the revocation of the license is not fair. The man filed a lawsuit against the prefecture, claiming that the revocation is not fair. The revocation of his driver's license is illegal. The man filed a lawsuit against the prefecture, saying that revocation of his driver's license for the reason is illegal. Revocation. 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 The governor ordered the revocation of a driver's license to the driver. The police chief ordered the revocation of the driver's license to the driver. The police officers ordered the revocation to the driver. Revocation. The speeding driver was ordered revocation. The speeding driver ordered revocation. The speeding driver was ordered revocation. Revocation. The speeding driver was ordered revocation of the license. Revocation. We cannot start our business until we get the business permit. Business permit. We cannot operate our shop or store without permission. I was diagnosed as atopic dermatitis when I was born. I was diagnosed with atopic dermatitis or eczema when I was born. I was diagnosed as atopic dermatitis when I was born. I was diagnosed with atopic dermatitis when I was born. I was diagnosed with eczema, atopic dermatitis when I was born. Once upon a time, I was aiming at becoming a doctor, but I couldn't because my academic accomplishment was good enough to enter the doctor school, medicine school. Have you heard of Brugger's disease? The medical students are learning about diabetes, obesity now. I work out regularly for fear that I might be diabetes, lest I should be diabetes, in case I should become diabetes. Does it help? Does regular exercise help? Work? Does regular exercise 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 work to prevent me from developing diabetes or other disease? Have you heard of a Brugger's disease? Have you heard of a Brugger's disease? Brugger's disease. It seems create blockages in the blood vessel. The blockages on the road were preventing the commuters from going. Many blockages after the typhoon on the road were preventing the commuters from passing. The blockages on the walkway were blocking the pedestrians from going through, walking, passing. There are many blockages discouraging us from pursuing our dreams. There are some factors discouraging us from pursuing our dreams. There are some blockages preventing us from pursuing our dreams. There are some elements, factors, blockages stopping us from pursuing our dreams. There are some blockages keeping us from pursuing our dreams. What is creating the blockage in the blood vessel? What leads to the blockages in the blood vessel? How can I prevent that? How can I prevent that? What are the preventions to the blockages in the blood vessel? How can I prevent the blood vessel from creating the blood blockages? How can I prevent the blood vessel from developing the blockages? Blockage. The blockages on the road after the typhoon was preventing the commuters from passing. The blockages on the road after the typhoon were preventing the commuters from passing. Blockage in the blood vessel. Blockage in the blood vessel. Blockage in the blood vessel. Blockage. Blockage, blockage in the blood vessel, blockage in the blood vessel, blockage, blockage. Blockage in the blood vessel. I usually close my eyes when the nurse inject on my blood vessel because it feels so it's so painful. I usually close my eyes when the doctor inject on my blood vessel to extract some blood from my body and open my eyes again when it's done. I usually close my eyes or look away when the doctor inject on my blood vessel. I usually look away, turn away when the doctor inject on my skin. I usually look away when the doctor give an injection on my blood vessel. I usually look away when the doctor insert the needle on my skin, on my blood vessel. Blood vessel. It looks very painful, right? So I usually look away or close my eyes until it's done. Blood vessel, blood vessel. The newly enacted ordinance ban eating while walking. The newly enacted ordinance ban eating while walking on the shopping street. The ban on the YouTuber's channel surprised us all. The ban on the channel of the famous YouTuber took us by surprise. Someone took hold of my hand. I did not notice someone took hold of my hand. I did not notice someone taking hold of my clothes behind. I liked it my friend taking hold of my clothes in haunted house. YouTubers must be afraid of the ban on their channels. Are you afraid of the ban on your channels? On your channels? In the school rule, students are banned from bringing snacks and sweets to the school. In the school rules, the students are banned from bringing snacks and sweets to the school. The elementary school, in the rule, bans the student from commuting by bike. In the school rules, the elementary school bans the student from commuting by bike. Japan is long from north to south, so we can enjoy the temperature difference. Temperature differs according to the region. We've got through many difficult, strict situations. The more I experienced strict things, the more I became stronger. The stronger I became. The more I experienced strict things, the stronger I became. The club activity I had when I was a junior high school student was the strictest hardest training ever. I will not experience stricter than that, mentally and physically. Littering in this street is subject to maximum fine of $500,000. 500,000 yen. Littering on this street is subject to 500,000 yen. Maximum penalty. Maximum penalty. Maximum penalty. Maximum effort. Did you even make your maximum effort to pass examination? All of the candidates make their utmost maximum effort to pass examination. To pass the examination. Maximum amount of food, maximum amount of water, maximum water level. The water is approaching the maximum water level. If the water goes beyond the limitation, it must be released to some extent. It must be released from the dam. The water is reaching the maximum level of the dam. If it goes beyond, surpass it, the water has to be released to some extent. The water has to be released from the dam to a certain extent. Otherwise, the dam might be broken. Maximum effort. Do you take on the examination with maximum effort or minimum effort? Are you this kind of person who take on the examinations with maximum preparation or minimum preparation? Do you take on the examinations with maximum preparations or minimum preparations? We usually try to take on examination with the maximum condition. We usually adjust our body with the maximum condition on the examination day. Did you make a maximum effort? 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 Maximum penalty. Maximum fine. Littering in this facility is subject to maximum fine of 500,000 yen. Littering in this street is subject to maximum fine of 5 million yen. Littering in this facility is subject to 10 million yen. Oh my god. I've been suffering from atopic dermatitis since I was born. I've been suffering from atopic dermatitis since I was born. I've been suffering from atopic dermatitis since I was born. I've been suffering atopic dermatitis since I was born. I often become desperate, wondering when this disease will be eradicated. I sometimes or often get desperate to wonder when this disease will be treated perfectly, drastically, thoroughly. I often get desperate. I often get desperate to wonder when this disease will be treated thoroughly, drastically. Have you met the president of the university? No, I haven't met in person. I just saw him from a distance at the entrance and farewell ceremony. Graduation ceremony, not farewell. The vice president greeted in the meeting on behalf of the president. On behalf of the president, the vice president attended the meeting and made a speech. The son of the president is said to be the next president of the company. Two or three candidates ran for the president. General Director, President, CEO. There are many ways to say the head, to describe the head. Do you want to be elected as a president? We are recovering from the recession, said the president of the company. Said the president of the company. What is the main presidential right, privilege? What is the presidential privilege? What is the main presidential privilege? Presidential election. Are you interested in the presidential election? Every press broadcasted about the presidential election. As far as I know, 3 candidates are running for the presidential election. As far as I know, 3 candidates are running for the presidential election. The presidential. As far as I know, 3 candidates are running for the presidential. As far as I know, 3 candidates are running for the presidential. As far as I know, three candidates are running for the presidential. As far as I know, three candidates are running for the presidential. Presidential order. Presidential order. Presidential issue. Presidential corruption. Presidential order. Is it a presidential order? He signed the presidential order. He signed the executive order. He signed the presidential order. He signed the presidential order. He signed the executive order. He signed the presidential order. He signed the presidential order. He signed the executive order. Presidential. Presidential. As far as I know, four candidates are running for the presidential. The presidential. The presidential. 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 The 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 presidential. Are you running for the presidential? Every press broadcasted the presidential. Every media, every social media, every mass media broadcasted presidential election. Every media, all media, all media broadcasted presidential. All media broadcasted the 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 presidential. The presidential. The presidential. All media broadcasted the presidential. Can you tell the vice from virtue? You know better than to be deceived. We should know better than to be deceived. We should know better than to be deceived. We should know better than to be deceived. I should have known better than to be deceived by the fraudulent company. I should have known better than to be deceived by the fraudulent company. I should have known better than to try such a trivial and such a stupid things. I should have known better than to embark on such a stupid thing. I should have known better than to embark on such stupid things. I should have known better than to embark on such stupid things. Can you tell virtue from vice? Can you tell vice from virtue? Can you tell vice from virtue? Can you tell vice from virtue? Can you tell the vice from virtue? The current vice president is rumored to be the next president. Vice president, vice mayor, vice governor, associate professor. My teacher was an associate professor when I was a student at the university, but he is now a professor. My teacher in the research room was a associate professor when I was a student there, but now he is a professor. The vice president, vice governor, vice mayor, vice principal, vice mayor, vice principal, vice president, vice manager, vice general manager, vice chief section, vice section in chief, section chief, vice section chief. I was told not to sign the contract. I was told not to be a bond person of any contract for my friends. I was told not to be a bond person of any contract for my friends. I was not asked to sign the receipt when I shopped with on my credit card. We would be asked to press the password or signed on the receipt on when shopping on the credit card. We will be asked to sign on the receipt or paper or insert the password of the credit card when shopping on credit card. We will be asked to sign or insert the password of the credit card when we shop on the credit card. We will be asked to sign. We will be asked to sign. We will be asked to sign. We will be asked to either sign. We will be asked to either sign or insert password when we shop on credit card. The president signed the contract. Executive order. The president signed the executive order. Have you already signed up for the lecture? Yes, I've already signed up for the lecture. the introduction lecture, recreation lecture, the training lecture, the lecture for training. When is the deadline for the sign up? Have you already signed up for the lecture? Have you already signed up for the course? Yes, I've already signed up for the middle level course. Perhaps, fortunately, I will sign up for the advanced course next year. In the election broadcast, it also broadcasted with sign language. The election broadcast was broadcasted with sign language. The election broadcasts are usually with sign language. The election broadcast is usually with sign language. Can you talk with sign language? Have you learned 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 sign language? Can you talk with sign language? Do you have a skill of sign language? Do you have a skill of sign language? Sign language. Can you talk with sign language? When I went to Hong Kong, I liked the store signs coming out of the building, and they looked almost hitting the 2 decabars. When I went to Hong Kong, I liked the store signs coming out of the building, and they looked almost hitting the 2 decabars, 2 decabars, double decabars, 2 decabars, double decabars. チムサーツイ。A store sign. A store sign. I cannot understand what the signs indicate. Japanese unique distinctive signs might be difficult for foreigners to understand. Foreigners might have difficulty in understanding Japanese distinctive signs. Foreign visitors might find it difficult to understand Japanese distinctive signs. Foreigners might have difficulty in understanding Japanese distinctive signs. Foreigners might have difficulty in understanding the Japanese distinctive signs. Foreigners might have trouble in understanding the Japanese distinctive signs. Foreigners might have difficulty in understanding Japanese distinctive signs. Many birds appearing in front of me before the result announcement of my examination, I can say now, was the omen of my passing the examination. Harbinger, sign of my passing the examination. And the birds appearing in front of me was the omen of me passing the examination before the result announcement. I like the way decorating the setting up the store signs in Hong Kong. They are very beautiful with the light at night. I like the way of decorating the store signs in Hong Kong. I like the way of decorating or setting up the store signs in Hong Kong, of Hong Kong. A store sign. I like the way of decorating the store sign of Hong Kong. They look very beautiful. They are very beautiful at night with the light. I like the way of setting up the store sign in Hong Kong. I like the way of setting up the store signs in Hong Kong. I like the way of setting up the store signs in Hong Kong. I like the way of setting up the store signs in Hong Kong. They are very beautiful at night with the light. A store sign, a store sign, store sign, store sign, store sign, a store sign, a store sign, store sign. Please write your signature here. Please write your signature here. Please do not go beyond the line. Please write your signature here, but please do not go beyond the black line. Thank you for your cooperation. Signature. Please write your signature here. Please write your signature below. Please write your signature in the black circle. Please write your signature in the black square below. But do not go beyond the black line. Otherwise, we must ask you to write again. Signature. Please write your signature in the black square below. Black rectangular. Black line. In the black shape. In the black square. Please write your signature in the black rectangular below. And please do not go beyond the black line. Otherwise, we must ask you to write it again. Who made the order? Have you got something you haven't ordered? 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 Such trouble might happen in this internet world, so we have to be careful. Who ordered the issue? Presidential order, governor's order, teacher's order. Presidential order, presidential order. Who issued the order? Who issued the order? Who issued the order? Who issued the order? Have you got something you haven't ordered? You haven't ordered. Have you got something you haven't ordered? Have you got something you haven't ordered? Have you got something you didn't order? Have you got something that you didn't order? The boss issued the order. Issued an order. The boss issued an order. The president of the company issued an order to go home before typhoon approached. The president of the company ordered all of the employees to go home before typhoon approached. The president of the company issued an order to go home before the typhoon approached. The president of the company issued an order to go home before typhoon approached. If you defy the order, you are subject to be fired. This is the presidential order. This is the governor's order. This is the presidential order. We cannot obey. We have to obey. It will take a little bit more time to go back to the normal order. It will take time to go back to the normal order, the one before Corona. It will take a little bit more to go back to the normal order. I often make orders from online shops. I often make an order from online shops. I often make orders 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 from online shops. I often order from online shops. I often make an order from online shops. Is the machine working in order? 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 It will take a little bit more time for us to go back to the normal order. It will take a little bit more time to be in order, for the society to run in order. Is the machine working in order? Once we stop the operation of the machine, it takes time for the machine to be in order after the resume. Once we stop the operation of the machine, it takes a little bit time. It takes a little time for the machine to be in order after the resume. Is the machine working in order? Is the machine working in order? Once the machine stops operating for vacation, it takes time for the machine to be in order again after the resume. After the resume. So machines usually have to be kept working to keep it stable. Machines usually have to be kept working to make it possible to produce the products constantly, stably. Machines usually have to be kept working constantly for the stable condition. Once we stop the operation of the machine, it takes time for the machine to be in order again after the resume. Sometimes the machine doesn't work in order. Sometimes the machines don't work in order. Sometimes the machines don't work in order. Things don't go in order. Things sometimes don't go in order. Things sometimes don't proceed in order. Things don't go in order sometimes. Things sometimes don't go in order. Things don't go in order sometimes. Things sometimes don't proceed in order. Things don't proceed in order. Things sometimes don't proceed in order. Things sometimes don't move in order. Things sometimes don't proceed in order. Things sometimes don't move in order. Things sometimes don't proceed in order. Nothing might not go in order. Nothing might go in order. Nothing proceed. Nothing might not proceed in order. Nothing might go in order. Nothing might not go in order. Nothing might go in order at first. The runner started well at first in order. The runner started in order at first, but he lost stamina on the way and came in the last. Once we stop operating the machine, it takes time for the machine to operate in order again after the reuse. Once we stop operating the machine, it takes time for the machine to operate in order again after the reuse. We have to try and error again. We have to set up the machine again until the machine keep operating stably. Once we stop operating the machine for the vacation, it takes time for the machine to be to operate in order again after the use. We have to set up it for the stable production again. We were assembled to the office under orders because we got the sudden bulk orders from generous customers. Under orders. Under orders. Police officers were stationed in the Scramble Street under orders to oversee pedestrians for the Halloween party. The police officers were stationed in and around the Scramble Street of Shibuya, in Shibuya, to oversee the pedestrians and participants of the Halloween party. Under orders, under orders, under orders, under orders. Under orders. I went to the office although it was midnight. Under orders. Tired as I was ordered to turn out to the office at the night. Exhausted as I was, I went to the office under orders, under an order. Tired as I was forced to work overtime under orders. More police officers were stationed to the criminal venues under orders. More police officers were dispatched to the criminal venues under orders. More police officers were deployed to the venue to oversee, to surveil the area, region, district under orders. More police officers were stationed in and around the station under orders for safety. Under orders, more police officers were stationed in and around the train station for safety. Under orders. Under orders, more number of police officers was stationed in the Scramble intersection to oversee participants of Halloween party and for safety. More police officers were stationed, dispatched to the Scramble intersection under orders to oversee participants for the Halloween party. Under orders, under orders, under orders, under orders, under orders. Who ordered that? Who ordered you to study until 2 o'clock a.m.? My mother ordered me to study 3 hours at least every day. How long hours did your mother order you to study every day? How long hours did your mother order you to study every day? How long hours did your mother order you to study every day? How long hours did your mother order you to study every day? The boss ordered the mission. The boss ordered the mission. The president of the company ordered us to go home before the typhoon approached. The general manager of the department ordered us to keep the information secret. Do you also often order from online shop? Do you also often order merchandise from online shops? Do you also often frequently order goods from online shops? When it comes to expensive things, I will order offline shop, the real spots, real shops. When it comes to expensive products, I usually order at real shop, offline shops. Do you order the goods from the same shops? Do you order the necessities from the same shop? Do you order the same products from the same shops? The man violating the law was forced to go out of the building. The man violating the rule of the hotel was asked to be out of the building. The man violating the rule of the hotel was asked to go out of the building. The man was ordered out of the building. The owner of the facility ordered the man violating the law out of the building. The manager of the facility ordered the man who violated the law out of the building. The owner of the facility ordered the customer, who violated the rules out of the building. The owner of the facility ordered the man to go out of the building for violating the rules. The owner of the facility ordered the man out of the building. The owner of the man ordered the man out of the building. The man was ordered out of the building. The man was ordered out of the building for violating the rule, for breaching the rule, for intruding on the rule. The owner of the facility ordered the man who violated the rule out of the building. The man was ordered 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 out of the building for violating the law. For violating the law. For intruding on the law. For breaching the law. For offending the law. For offending the law. Offending the law. The offender was asked out of the building. The offender of the rule of the facility was ordered out of the building. The offender of the facility rule was ordered out of the building. The manager of the facility ordered the offender of the facility rule out of the building. The manager of the facility ordered the offender of the facility rule out of the building. Ordered the offender. The manager of the facility ordered the offender of the facility rule out of the building. I don't like those ordering me in a disrespectful manner. I don't like those ordering me what to do in a rude attitude, in a rude way, in an offensive way, in an authoritative way, in a rude way, in a disrespectful way, in a rude way, in an aggressive way. In an authoritative way. I don't like those ordering me what I should do in a rude way, in a rude manner. Do you also often order from online shops? Are you brave enough to make a performance in public? Are you brave enough to deliver a speech in public? Do you care performing in public? Can you perform in public? Do you mind performing in public? Do you mind performing in public? Do you mind if you perform in public? Do you mind if I open the window? Do you mind me opening the window? Do you mind me opening the window? Would you mind me opening the window? Would you mind if I open the window? Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.